Hello, good afternoon. You've tuned into Your Stocks, coming live from the CNBC-TV18 Motilal Oswal studios. I'm Vinny Motiwala. Thank you so much for tuning in as always. Markets, a subdued day of trading session that's coming in, more like a red day coming in for the markets. But just let's look at the chart. Recovered from the day's lowest point. The markets opened up at the day's lowest point. Around 24,520 levels is what it opened up at. And right now, the Nifty has come up to 24,700 levels. So almost a 200-point recovery from the day's lowest point is what we're seeing coming in. Nonetheless, it's still in the red and still down almost 0.7%. But still, at least some bit of that recovery that we've seen coming in from the day's lowest point. Now, what is interesting when we spoke at one round, it was that Nifty IT was managing to hold on to some bit of a green. That's gone into the red. Nifty IT is down 0.1% right now. And what's moved on to the green side is Nifty Media. That's holding on to gains of 0.2%. So that's something we are watching out for. Nifty IT just now, seems like a bit of a redness is coming in there. Look at Media, right? Recovered from the day's lowest point and now is trading in the green. Other than that, all the sectors are trading in the red as well. We have Nifty Bank also that's down almost 1%. Advance decline ratio today is clearly in the favor of declines versus advances. A lot of geopolitical tension and uncertainty is keeping the markets on the red side today. But this is a show where we solve all your stock-related queries despite how the markets are moving. And to solve all of that today, we have our independent market experts joining with us, Shahina Mukadam as well as Vaishali Parekh, Prabhudas Lilladher, to answer all your stock-related queries. Shahina as well as Vaishali, very good afternoon. Thank you so much for joining us as always. Now, it's 13th. The Friday is what you're watching out for. Seems like a bit of that Friday the 13th freak show coming in the market as well. A bit of a scare there. But in terms of levels, Vaishali, what should we keep an eye out on in terms of level on the downside? If, it breaks that level, where will it fall to? And where should one be worried now?
Definitely. Very good afternoon, Vinny. Yes, it is some challenging times that market is witnessing right now. So we saw a gap down opening and right now we are seeing a bounce. So unless and until we see a Nifty closing about 24,900 levels, I think the near-term trend is damaged. And if we see a close now below 24,400 or whenever that happens, that would trigger further sell-off coming towards 23,500 to start with. And likewise, even Bank Nifty 57,000, 57,500, our technical target was met with. Right now, it is showing some signs of weakness and in sync with Nifty, if this breaks 55,000 levels breaks, then we see a further downslide.
Okay. Keep an eye out on those levels over there. But let's move on and get started with the queries for today. We have the first query, which is a caller query that's coming in from S. Senthil. This is from Tamil Nadu and he has an investment query on Varun Beverages. Senthil, good afternoon and thank you so much for joining in with us. Take us through your query. What is the doubt that you have on Varun Beverages? Senthil, can you hear me? Could you take us through the query?
I'm listening to you. Please tell me.
What is your query, sir?
Yes, I'm holding Varun Beverages for past 1.5 months.
Okay.
I bought it for 530, 100 shares.
Okay.
This keeps falling frequently. What is your advice? Can I hold, exit or add?
Okay, sure. Okay, so, Shahina, what's the view coming in on Varun Beverages? Should they continue to hold, sell, exit, given that, they're making some bit of a loss right now on this one as well?
See, the main problem with the company is that the valuations. Valuations are very expensive. Currently, it's about 45 times EV by EBITDA. And also, if you see the last year performance, average realizations as well as their margins remain flat. They grew by volumes. Volumes were very healthy, 25%. And the management is confident of growing volumes going forward. Now, what I would say is that it is better to switch Varun Beverages given the global, geopolitical risks that are there. Crude oil prices may go up. It may impact raw material prices. So I would say it is a switch.
Okay, switch from Varun Beverages on the fundamental front. On the technicals, Varun Beverages, Vaishali, what's your view?
So I do say that, yes, the trend is extremely down. I mean, we've seen good erosion. Even right now, chartically, I don't see any upward movement coming in. So final stop loss should be 460. If that level breaks, then it's a definitely exit that could trigger a further sell-off towards 400 levels. So if you have to hold, 460 is the stop loss.
Okay, keep a stop loss at 460 on the technical front, Senthil. That's the view coming in on the technicals. So thank you so much, Senthil, and I hope that answers your query. Moving on to the next query for today, then we have Pushkar, who's writing to us from Mumbai, holding 1,500 shares of Phoenix Mills. This is at a price of 1,200 rupees per share. Stock is currently at around 1,595. They're making a profit. Asking if he should hold the stock for the next a year or so, almost 10 months is what he's talking about. Shahina, your view coming in for Phoenix Mills, what should they do now?
I say even this is a switch for me. Valuations again are expensive. If you see the last year performance has been very muted. I'm talking of FY25 and FY26. We'll have to see, but valuations at about 25 times EV by EBITDA is expensive. They have got good land banks which they acquired over the last 2-3 years. Mohali was a one. Second was they acquired a good land bank in Surat. So they have expanded out of Mumbai. They are largely into the retail outlet space. There, I would believe that while growth over the long term is good, since the query is for shorter term, less than 1 year, I would say it's a switch. There are better real estate companies available, especially given that RBI has cut interest rates, which some of the larger real estate companies should benefit. So I would say that it's a switch.
Okay. It's a switch. That's the word coming in of Phoenix Mills, and you can look at some other real estate companies as what Shahina is saying. On the technicals, Vaishali, what's your view coming in? Because last 6 months also the stock has not done much. The viewer is making a profit right now. So would you also say it's better to switch, or what is your understanding here?
Well, so technically, I would say overall the whole realty sector is showing a lot of strength. Well, little bit of retracement cannot be ruled out. So even Phoenix, if we talk about, I think it's already got in a trend. Even if I'm looking at the weekly chart, it is showing a good, decent strength right now. So I would say wait for the stock, keep a stop loss of 1,500. And if the stock moves above 1,620, there is a scope of the stock going towards 1,700. So I would say, well, no harm holding with a stop loss of 1,500.
Okay, no harm holding, but keep an eye out on the stop loss over there. So yes, that's a view there. Next query for today, we have, this is coming in from Rahul Kapoor, who's writing to us from Bangalore, holding 50 shares of Bharat Dynamics. The price is 900 rupees per share. Can he buy more shares? That's the query coming in. There's no sell or exit. He just wants to know if he can add some more. Shahina, your view coming in. Bharat Dynamics, defense names, we've seen the run-up coming in, these geopolitical tensions. So what's your view now?
Extremely difficult question because I think, given the way that the global, geopolitical risks are there, of course, these stocks will continue to do well. But if you ask me, I would prefer a BL in terms of pure valuations. Bharat Dynamics, price to book is 18 times, EV by EBITDA 50 times. And if you see last year performance, they have been able to grow on the top line. But if you see in terms of the cost, their margins, they are not able to actually show a substantial improvement over there. So I would say, if you're a long-term investor, you can just continue to hold. These are the stocks, at least for the next couple of quarters, that will maintain their levels.
Okay, surely we'll keep an eye out on that. Bharat Dynamics on the technical front, Vaishali, what is your view?
So first of all, today the whole of defense sector is in new round of momentum. And talking about Bharat Dynamics, it has done very well as compared to other stocks also. The long-term trend is also intact. And today's candle shows new round of momentum setting in. So I would say 1,700 is the support level. One can add more because the long-term projections, what I'm looking at is 2,500 from here on. So in my opinion, it's definitely a hold and buy and decline, keeping 1,700 as a support.
Okay, keep an eye out on those levels over there for Bharat Dynamics. But on that note, we're actually going to slip into a very short break. And here's some news coming in for you all. Unlock a new dimension of business intelligence with CNBC-TV18 Access. Our premium members only experience on CNBC-TV18.com. From market moving insights and thought leadership to exclusive access to marquee events, journalist interactions, studio tours, and high-impact learning sessions. This is a truly elevated experience with members also enjoying curated lifestyle privileges and perks. The power of insight, the privilege of access, exclusivity, experiences, and influences, all yours to claim. Become a member. Log on to CNBC-TV18.com. Access plans.
you have stood up and stood by many of India's dreamers.
I became a magnet for entrepreneurs. So there's one man who will hold our hand and take us all the way.
So what is the art of deal making?
So whenever the deal maker wants to become too big, oh, I'm God, okay, you say this and you say that, kind of attitude, not literally, but I've seen that. What percentage of people you think die, Shireen, with regrets in their hearts?
A very large percentage.
So this risk of failure, fear of failure, is the one that makes people die with regrets.
What is holding us back?
Promote and protect the good. Prevent and punish the bad. We prefer to be slow rather than fast. That's how we are a chalta hai country and not a daudta hai country.
The lack of speed would be, if you were to IPO India today, that would be on the risk factor side in the DRHP, right?
I wouldn't IPO.
You wouldn't IPO?
But to IPO, I must have a new story.
You have a special place in your heart for Charlie Munger and Warren Buffett. What have you taken from them that continues to guide and shape how you think today?
Understanding of balance sheet, because balance sheet is accumulation of good and bad.
How do you find India positioned in this mix today?
We have a resilience, we have a stability, we have a wisdom of our own. But वो हम एक scene दिखाते हैं, फिर we have a long break. Stop that.
Interval थोड़ा लंबा हो गया.
बहुत लंबा हो जाता है.
Welcome back to Your Stocks on CNBC-TV18. We still have our experts with us, Shahina Mukadam as well as Vaishali Parekh of Prabhudas Lilladher, to answer all your stock-related queries. Let's move on to the next query for today, ladies. We have this coming in from Matthew, who's writing to us from New Delhi, holding 40 shares of Tata Power. This is at a price of 368 rupees per share. Wants to know if he should continue to hold this or book out some bit of a profit that they're making on this front. Shahina, what is your view coming in for Tata Power? What is now that we should be watching out for here?
Well, I would say it will consolidate around current levels. There are some positives as well as negatives. Negative main being the raw materials that they would require for some critical parts for their CV. Also, I think there is some bit of issues regarding sales of JLR to China and competition intensifying their tariff wars across with US. But the thing is, there is also some bit of positives. They have managed to bring down their debt. They are actually talking of demerging the two entities, PV and CV. I think by October that should be done in this current year, FY26. So there are positives, there are negatives. The stock will consolidate. If you're looking for a very good return in the next 6 months to 1 year, I think you would be a bit disappointed. But a long-term investor, could. Sorry, I thought you were asking about Tata Motors.
No, Tata Power.
So I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
Tata Power. Okay, so Tata Power, there I would say it's a hold. They are doing well both in their renewables as well as they are participating in discoms, expanding that segment. So Tata Power, yes, it's a hold.
Okay, Tata Power is a hold coming in there, and also you all got a view on the side for Tata Motors as well, so that's also great. But Tata Power, surely a hold coming in there. Vaishali, your view coming in for Tata Power?
So, well, if the trader is a short-term trader, then of course it's right now at a make or break levels. So if 390 levels break, then it's could lead to a further corrective move. So trading perspective, I think 390 is the level to watch for. But with a long-term perspective, I think it has scope for going towards the target of 500, 520. So it's a hold.
Okay. Keep an eye out on Tata Power. So hold coming in on both the fronts. Next query for today. This is an investment query. Don Francis is writing to us from Kerala. He wants to know if TCS or Tata Motors, now it's Tata Motors, China, which is a better option for the long-term investment at the current price, TCS or Tata Motors from the Tata Group?
Yeah, so I would go with the TCS. I already said why I think Tata Motors will consolidate around current levels. TCS, I think, should do better in terms of growth. Management has indicated FY26 is going to be a better year than FY25. Their TCVs are close to about $40 billion. So I think to that extent, there is a good upside for the current year in terms of they would grow about 2% at least in revenues, hopefully. And I think margins also they should do better. So I would prefer a TCS over a Tata Motors if you're with a 1-year holding.
Okay, 1-year holding TCS over a Tata Motors. On the technicals, TCS or Tata Motors, what's your bet?
I will go for TCS because overall IT sector is a safe haven right now, and TCS would be the choice.
Okay, TCS coming in from both the fundamental and the technical front. So TCS is the bet there. Let's move on to the next query for today. We have Ronak Mishra who's writing to us from New Delhi, holding 100 shares of Yes Bank. This is at a price of 52 rupees per share. Wants to know the future prospect of his investment. Yes Bank, what should they be doing, Shahina, with the stock?
Yeah, he should hold it. I think, that overhang of the equity is now out of the way. And you have Sumitomo Mitsui of Japan having, indicated that they would be the main promoters of the company. And in terms of financial performance, balance sheet quality was anyway improving. If you saw now, their net NPAs are just about 0.3%. And they have been improving their balance sheet quality all along last 2-3 years. So I would say it's a hold.
Okay, hold coming in for Yes Bank there. On the technicals, Yes Bank, now, Vaishali, do you think it's time that maybe we could see a bit of an up move coming in for the stock? A different story. Fundamentally, things are shaping up fine for the company. Could we see a better move now for the stock?
In my opinion, yes, it is getting into a trend. Right now, we have just seen a regular retracement. The near-term support lies at 19. So in my opinion, because it's bought at higher levels, can average it out at 19. That would be the crucial level for support. And from there on, I think if this stock has any meaning and it has got any strength, it should bounce back from 19 levels and go towards 23 to start with.
Okay. So keep an eye out on that. Can look to average at 19 levels also is what Vaishali has highlighted. But that was the last query for today, ladies. So thank you so much, Aina, as well as Vaishali, for joining in with us. Hope you all have a great weekend. And viewers, thank you so much for tuning in, as always, on CNBC TV18. Keep sending us your queries. You can see the email ID where you can send us your queries at the top of the screen. So do send us your queries as well. We'll be taking them on Monday, Wednesday, Friday, every week. But with that, we'll wind up this edition of Your Stocks. Thank you so much for tuning in. Up next, your closing bell.